Okay, now we're gonna update the inside. We're gonna put a refrigerator in. Also wanted to start giving the inside a little bit more character. So when we were at the Grand Canyon, we picked up a patch, and what we were thinking was start putting the patches up here of the main places we went. And then found this old vintage thermometer. I'm gonna put that probably somewhere over here. So this will probably be a pretty short video, but I think we're taking off that table. It was fun while it lasted, but it's just too many tables in here. And we kind of want the refrigerator right here so that all you have to do is open up the back and you're right at the fridge. So I think that that's what we're gonna do, is take this off, and then I'm gonna mount it to the wall using the leftover ratchet straps and these nifty little hooks here. Same ones I used for back there, but might as well put all this solar power to use. Also, when that big ice chest we had, we still have it, but when you got like 30-40 pounds of ice in it and it's just sloshing around, it gets hard to find things. My wife was I'm just finding some cheese that was in a Ziploc bag. So she's really excited about this. First step is to take this off, and then we're gonna start working on all the mounting for that. All right, got my son here helping me. I'm unscrewing, and then he's holding it. Definitely a two-person job. The other thing that we're gonna put right where this table is at is more of those DeWalt tubs. So we're definitely gonna utilize this space instead of having 3 tables. So here's where we are. I cut these from about here to here. Initially I was going to cut them to here, but then the door was interfering because the door actually sticks out a little bit. So what's cool is these being spaced away from the wall but still having this little notch right here, it should stop the fridge from sliding that way. So I cut these to 17, and then this is some foam tape. I thought I'd rather have the refrigerator sitting against some foam than the wood. But what I'm gonna do next is, okay, see how that locks up? Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is on the bottom here, that's where these are gonna go. Okay, and then I have to cut off these right here. This hook has to get cut off, and then that gets put through that, and then we're gonna go, so the strap is gonna connect down there, wrap up here, and then the extra set of these are gonna go right here, hopefully kind of pulling this down a little bit. And then I'm probably gonna put another 1 or 2 boards right here, and then that's where the straps are gonna go, so this thing will be just locked against the wall. So that is the plan. I'm probably just gonna use my angle grinder on this, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so right here I have safety glasses on and my safety sandals. This kicks up a lot of sparks, and I have to keep hosing it down with some water or else it'll melt the strap. I think the better thing to do would be a saw of some sort. That way it's not putting as much heat into the actual strap, so it doesn't start to melt it. All right, so here I'm putting those straps. I'm putting the straps slightly underneath the refrigerator so that it has a tendency to try to pull it to the wall. You can see the 2 boards I had right there, and the foam tape I put on there. And then the board on the top, it's slightly under the top of it, so the strap is not only pulling it towards the wall, but it's actually pulling it down as well. And the cord that I'm using is this orange extension cord. I'm probably going to change that out to a black extension cord in the future just to make it look better. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I can't wait to see through all the other adventures, all the other patches. This bottle opener actually came with the refrigerator. There's a spot on the other side for it to bolt onto. So figured I'd just put it right there in case we need it. And then here's where I put the vintage thermometer. I used hot glue, just a little added layer. So I screwed this up here, and then I put like a big clump of it down there and kind of smushed it in. Since our property is rural and it's dirt roads, a lot of dirt gets tracked up in here. So we kind of wanted a broom. And there's like plastic ones of these clamps where you just kind of push it in, but man, these metal ones, these are like perfect for like traveling, because like these things got like a grip on it. It's even marking it up. But so here's the refrigerator. Pretty happy with how it goes. I don't think down there that wire is fully gonna stay there, but I routed it up, over, and around, and then comes down into here. Currently, right now, it's actually not drawing that many amps. Let me turn this on. There it is. It's drawing less than the 10 because I have the lights on. So let me turn the lights off. See what I mean? It's only drawing like 5.75 amps, 76 watts. The inverter barely even knows it's on. So pretty cool. It's pretty stable. I got it sort of wedged behind here so it can't go that way. And then these straps are stopping it from going this way. And then that rubber is adding a decent amount of friction to it. I just glued the top of this to give this a little bit more, because you could see it flex when I tension these a little bit. So I kind of want that just a little bit stronger. But I think that's the update for the inside here. You know, just a tiny bit of warmness, or style to it. This and that. We'll see what else we find on our trips or travels, and what else we'll need. I like things like this. I wish there were more things like this I could put up besides like a humidity and a barometer or whatever. Like something that can just stick up there, has some style to it, and just does what it does. But apparently it's 90 degrees here. All right, so this is 4 days before the trip. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna back out the trailer, hook it up. That way we can test everything, because it's new fenders, new rims, new tires, new lights. There's so many new things on this old trailer that I would really like to test stuff out long before I'm in the middle of I don't even know how many miles it is. 2,000 mile trip? I don't know. I'll have it somewhere so you guys know how many miles we're actually traveling. So not to mention the lights, the fenders, the rims, the tires, but the whole front of it's all different. We painted it. It's got new hooks. It's got a new breakaway, new plug, the whole works. And the trailer, it's the hitch itself. A couple of things I learned about my Tahoe Premier here is it has an air ride system in the back. So no matter what I was doing on that weight-wise, it kept inflating the bags and lifting it up to the point where the front of that trailer was up and not level. So what I'm gonna do is I got this 2-inch drop. Now this is a heavy-duty 2-inch drop going onto that. So I'm hoping that that'll make everything nice and level, because I have not found a way to actually control the automatic airbag system in the Tahoe Premier. So another thing that is going to make this thing 1,000 times easier to push back and move. So you got 2 tires here, and when you're trying to turn it, the tires fight each other, especially at low speeds, like parking lot, pushing it becomes such a bear. And I've done it before where I'm grabbing onto the front and throwing all of my weight one way to get it to turn. There's an easier way. It's called wheel dollies. So you take this wheel dolly, and I prefer it on the front axles. I picked these up at Harbor Freight. There are some on Amazon. They're like a brand name, bit more expensive. There's not a lot to these, so I just went with these. There we go. It's kind of hard to do everything with one hand, but all right. So I'm gonna flip that on. Okay, you want to make sure that your wheel is fully onto those gray parts, but don't go so far where your wheel starts hitting the inside there. Okay, and then you just use your body weight. Pretty easy. I think anybody should be able to do it. I double check to make sure I'm not pinching the wheel. And then okay, now that wheel is off the ground and it can roll side to side. So if you get 4 of these, basically what they're meant for is you can move a car completely sideways. I currently only have 2 because I'm using them for this purpose. Another thing you can use them for is you can move over the front, then move over the back, move over the front, move over the back if you don't want to buy 4. Once you realize how much you need these, you'll figure it out. These are well worth every single penny. All right, that looks good. So here we go. And that's it. We'll pull that out and you'll see how easy the whole thing just rolls over. It's definitely easier with these wheel dollies, especially when you're trying to line it up to a trailer. But these little wheels that are on the dollies definitely get caught on any kind of gravel. So I definitely recommend sweeping it. They tend to work the best on like concrete. This asphalt is kind of a little bit bumpy, but they definitely work, and they work better than not having them at all. So definitely recommend them. Okay, so walk us through how you organized everything for the trip that is going to be better than last time.
Okay, so last time we had 4 tubs and they were all thrown in at the last minute because we were packing the night before. And when we got there, it was like horrible trying to find one small thing. So this time, instead of the clothes being packed by person, I've packed them by day. So each day has 1 bag. There's a paper that has the label on it, and then the blankets and the sheets and that sort of thing. We actually, some of the pack, we put them in and then vacuum packed them inside the tub because that seemed to take up the least amount of space. Then we have some empty vacuum bags in case of punctures, which happened last time. We have tape, we have all the food, and then the air fryer and the griddle and the pots and pans in here. And then here's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff like a rug, some hats, a little bit of food that didn't fit, and then our battery generators with the batteries and the means to recharge them.
So you also labeled all the tubs.
I have an inventory on my phone of the majority of the contents of each tub, so that when we get somewhere, if we need to get day 3's clothes, we will know exactly what tub they're in. The tubs will also be packed in the trailer in such a way as to the ones we think we will have to get in will be easiest to be accessible.
So this is all in an effort to identify all the problems that we didn't like last time and constantly improve. Last time she was looking for some headache medicine, and we think it's in a tub, but then all the tubs look the same. Now we actually used our label machine and labeled every tub. As she said on her phone, there's a pretty descriptive idea of what's in every tub, and then how we're going to stack these is also determined on when we're going to need them, such as this is mainly going to be needed at the property, and it's heavy, so it's going to be on the bottom. This one will be next because it also has property stuff and it's a little bit lighter. And then this one has food and the air fryer, so it'll be on top. And then clothes and clothes, which are easily accessible at any point in time. And then also something we didn't like last time, we're going at a much earlier time in the year, so it's still summer instead of winter. I've already tested it with the Ego generators. Heated blankets are much more efficient than trying to run a heater that is trying to heat the air. If we're too cold, we're gonna use the heated blankets. But now it is time to load.
Yep.
All right, so you definitely want to load the furthest point forward in the trailer, so then that way it gives you more room. You don't want to load up the back and then have to walk past that the whole time. So we're putting in the big tent, and now I'm going to load everything. There's some chairs. Right, so we're putting some shovels, an area rug, and a barbecue. Here's some propane tanks that we're putting in, wedging those all the way up forward. Gonna push those right up next to the battery. That should be a good spot for them. We're bringing in containers of, I think there's 36 packs of water. We're gonna strap all this down. So everything's getting strapped down so that nothing should rock while we're traveling. All right, so now we're bringing on the tubs. We're putting the heaviest tubs right behind the refrigerator there, and then the next heaviest tub will go above it. Each tub is getting individually strapped in. So I have my son help me lift that one in, and now we strap that one in, and then we're putting the next one in. You see how we're kind of working our way out, and now I'm going to strap that tub in. So all the tubs are going to be strapped in. So this is exactly where that table used to be. And now these tubs have the clothes and some of the food, so that it's a little bit more accessible. All right, so this is the trailer fully loaded, which looks dramatically different than last year. So each tub has a strap, and yeah, those aren't moving. These ones have a strap too. Plenty of actual room right here for anything else we would want to put. There were a few late additions to the inside update. Wife wanted a fan and then a machete. Everything looks pretty tip top. So in case you're wondering, this is now a day before we're actually leaving. What we did last time was we were doing this the day we were supposed to be leaving. So much better. We're going to start a new saying called "Don't leave on the back foot," which is basically get prepared, have everything ready, over prepare, over organize. You'll be happy when you're tired after driving and then still have to set up a tent. But what's really cool is there's nothing else that's got to go in here, right? No. So this is what it'll look like when we're stopped on the side of the road, or when we're at a rest stop. You'll be able to sit down. This table comes up fine. This table can come up if you push this banana bag out of the way, but everything is how it should be. So then we're going to push this back into the warehouse, and then tomorrow we are off. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, we're on to a new adventure. We go from California to our property in Colorado, spend some time there, spend some time with some family. Then we go up into Wyoming, and I eat the biggest plate of nachos that I've ever seen. And then we head over to a cattle ranch, and we stay on an Airbnb on the cattle ranch, which that was pretty cool. And then we go into Yellowstone, and we check out Yellowstone, and then the Grand Tetons. So thanks for watching. Please stay tuned to all the new adventures, and we check out how this solar system is going to work actually on the road. So please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. And thanks for watching.
I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.